Hello folks and welcome back to my channel. It's mid-September, we're at the end of summer, and this is kind of piercing season. Summer's over, we're not swimming anymore, we're not going camping anymore, at least here in the Pacific Northwest. I know other places it's still warm and we're still doing outdoor things, but it's already starting to cool down here in Washington. It's also back to school season. So kids are done with their vacations, they're done with their trips, they're done with their traveling, everyone's back in town, and they're getting ready to move into fall and winter. Which means for me, it's minor piercing season. This is when all of my 13 to 17-year-olds are getting their piercings done. They're done summer, things can heal through winter. And honestly, so smart. So smart to be getting pierced now. That way everything is fully healed for summertime and you can swim and you can vacation and you can camp and you can do all of the wonderful PNW things without having to worry about it. But this time of year also brings with it a reoccurring question. How can I convince my parents to let me get XYZ thing pierced? So let's talk about it. Now, I'd say I'm kind of a pro at convincing parents to let you get piercings. I had a very uphill battle with my parents convincing them to let me get my nose pierced, and then that was my first real facial piercing. It kind of all went downhill from there because then I asked for a piercing for every single birthday or holiday or event. But I think I did a really stellar job of convincing my parents to let me get my nose pierced, and I feel like through, over a decade of working as a professional piercer, I've got some good ideas on how to go about it. And the first and biggest thing is piercings require responsibility, right? You're gonna let's say you wanna get your cartilage pierced. That takes 6 to 9 months to fully heal. You're gonna need to clean it just about every day for those 6 to 9 months. You're gonna need to take care of it. You're going to need to every day be careful with how you take your shirt on and off. If you wear headphones, answering the phone, just giving your friends a hug, you'll need to be aware of the piercing in order for it to heal successfully. You'll probably need to go back into your studio to get it downsized at least once during the healing process. You might need to take the initiative to take some pictures of the piercing if it's having a problem and message or email your piercer and say, hey, is this normal? What do I need to do? Healing a piercing requires a great deal of responsibility, and it requires that responsibility over time. So a good way, I think, to convince parents is to approach it from that angle and say, hey, I really want to get, my ear pierced. I understand that piercings are a big commitment. I understand that they're a big responsibility. I feel like I'm prepared and ready for this responsibility, and let me show you how. For me, this looked like getting good grades in school and showing that I could be responsible in school and keep up with my homework and keep up with my classwork and keep up with, maintaining my school life. But it also showed up at home. I made sure that I was responsible with keeping my room clean. I made sure I was responsible with personal hygiene tasks and things like that. And when I sat my parents down, I was like, look, I've gotten consistently good grades for the last 3 months. I've kept my room clean without you having to remind me. I've been on top of my chores. If I can be responsible with all of these things, I can also be responsible with a piercing. And I want this piercing so badly that it is helping me be responsible with my schoolwork and with my chores, because I want to show you that I can handle the responsibility of getting this piercing. And you can point that out and make a deal. I made a deal with my parents where I was like, listen, a nostril piercing takes 6 to 9 months to fully heal. If I can get consistently good grades and keep up with my chores consistently for 6 months, I think I should be allowed to get my nose pierced, because this is me showing you that I understand what it takes to heal this, and I can do that level of responsibility in other things. And realistically, if you find that you can't keep up with a chore for 6 months, if you can't keep up with schoolwork for 6 months, maybe that's a sign that we're not quite ready for certain more advanced piercings that really require a certain level of diligence. So not only will it work to convince your parents, it is also just genuinely good prep work for what it's going to be like if you eventually want to heal more challenging or more difficult piercings. Now, another element of that responsibility is research and informed consent. Because I think I have to buy a new rainbow backdrop light for filming, because that keeps happening. And I swear it was on 100% charge. I literally just charged it 2 days ago. Okay, well, the video continues. Where was I? Yes, okay, informed consent, responsibility, research. I got it again. Sorry, the light turning off really jarred me. part of, I think, responsibility is doing your research and having a plan before you go into something like a body piercing. So I was really corny when I was 13, and I made my mom a PowerPoint about why I should be allowed to get my nose pierced. And I had done a bunch of research. I had found a really good piercer on Tumblr back in the time who was educating about safe piercing and safe piercing practices. And so I put together a little presentation, and I was like, I really want to get my nose pierced. I did my research. Here's a little presentation. I know that they take 6 to 9 months to heal. I know what I have to do to take care of them. Here's what the aftercare looks like. I learned about different styles of jewelry, and I was like, here's the styles of jewelry that I want to get pierced with. I was like, I've researched in the area. Here's a piercing studio I found in our area that has good reviews and that seems safe. Here's where I like to go to get my nose pierced, and here's how much it would cost from this studio. So I didn't just go to my mom and be like, I want to get my nose pierced. I'm going to expect you to do all of the legwork and all of the research and all of the everything in order for me to do it. I sat my mom down and I was like, I want this, and I am so serious about wanting this that I have taken it onto myself to figure out what I need to do to get it done, what I need to do to heal it safely, where I should go, and how much it can cost. And then I brought this all to my mom. That way she didn't have to do any work. I had already said, here's where we could go, here's how much it costs, here's what we need, like here's the information I found. Now as a kid, I wasn't perfect at it. I didn't realize documentation and paperwork somehow in my research. I remember not talking about that, and my mom being like, okay, what do we need to bring? And I was like, what do you mean, what do we need to bring? And she was like, you're gonna need some form of ID. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. So my research wasn't perfect. At 13, whatever, I didn't think about birth certificates and state ID, but I did enough research to show I'm pretty serious about this, and I've taken a lot of the legwork out of it for you, and here's what I'm looking for and here's why. And I think another good point to bring up if you're looking to convince your parents is that when you're in school is kind of a perfect time to get and heal piercings. Once piercings are fully healed and stabilized, it's easy to wear retainers or styles of jewelry in them that can hide the piercing for school, work, an interview, a family event, whatever the case may be. As folks get older, one of the struggles is at 30, it's tough to find a time when you can have, a long visible piece of jewelry in your lip that's swollen and freshly pierced for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and then have that visible jewelry for the next 3 to 5 months before you can put a retainer in it or hide it. Whereas if you have these piercings and you heal them when you're younger, let's say you have a job interview or, for whatever reason you're going on a work trip and you can't wear jewelry. Well, if you healed those piercings when you were in high school, by the time you're an adult, it is no big deal to take them out and put a retainer in them, or even just take them out, depending on the piercing and how your body handles them, for a week or so and then have them stretched back open. There are far more options. When you're in school, there's far less concern with your boss or workplace meetings or work trips or things like this. So clients who healed stuff when they were younger are often grateful that they had plenty of time to get that piercing healed and stabilized, and now they can take it in and out as they need for work events and trips, and it's not really a big deal. It's a good time in your life to be able to experiment with these sorts of things and try these things out without those pressures of work. And I think that's a nice point to bring up to your parents. But lastly, and this is the unpopular point, not every piercing is suitable for a minor. In general, I do not think folks under the age of 18 have any business getting surface piercings done, cheek piercings, inner cheek piercings, aka dahlias. I'm even really hesitant on bridges for folks under 18. Anything that carries a certain level of risk and health risk, and anything that carries a certain level of permanent scarring risk. It is a really big commitment with some of these piercings. And I know I have so many 16 and 17-year-olds who desperately want the angel fangs, the paired upper lips, and bridge piercings, and are devastated when I tell them no. But these are piercings that can leave incredibly serious scars on your face. And I feel a little bit weird doing that on a minor whose parent is technically the person consenting to them having really big scars on their face. So understanding that some piercings are just, you gotta wait till you're of age. You gotta wait till you're 18, till you're signing for it yourself. And if you feel like you have to get them, you need them right now, I would ask yourself, what is it that I am feeling so impatient for this piercing that I can get in another couple of years? And why do I feel like I have to have this thing right now in this moment? Because I often find the clients who like have full-blown meltdowns over not getting angel fangs when they're 17, when their 18th birthday is whatever, like 5 months away. I wonder if they can't be patient till they're legally of age to get a piercing that carries that level of risk and concern. How will they be patient when it takes 6 to 9 months to heal? How will they be patient if it does get irritated? How will they be patient with waiting to wear the jewelry they really want? And the reality is a lot of those kids aren't patient. And then I see them back in my studio because they put a spike on it at 2 months old, a huge spike, and now it's migrated. And now they have big scars on their face, and now they are so scarred that I cannot even redo the piercing for them. Like the scar tissue just, it won't work. So piercings are really all about patience. We have to wait for them to heal. We have to wait for them to be ready to wear the jewelry we want and do the things we want with them. And sometimes we have to wait till we're able to get them. So going into this understanding that not every piercing is for someone of every age and being respectful of that. And if you talk to a reputable piercer in your area and they say, hey, this is a piercing that I don't think you should get done underage, here's all these reasons why, respecting that. Even if it's disappointing, you're allowed to feel disappointed about that. Your negative feelings surrounding that are all totally valid and normal, but sitting with it and understanding like, okay, this person is saying this because they care about my safety, they care about my well-being, they care about my health, and they want to make sure that this is a fully consensual situation and that I'm old enough to legally give my own consent for this type of body modification, and being respectful of that. And the clients who are, those are the ones who I often see have the most success with their piercings in the future. They become like great regulars and great clients, and they're able to respect that patience element of piercing. And respecting that patience is honestly just good advice in general. Like you may come into a piercing studio, I have this happen all the time. Like a 14 or a 15-year-old comes in and they're like, I really want an industrial piercing. And I'm like, cool, have you healed any other cartilage piercings before? And they're like, no, I haven't. And I'm like, awesome. Do you want any other cartilage piercings? So they're like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna get an industrial and then get a conch on this side and then maybe a rook and then maybe a tragus. And I'll be like, great, let's start with like the conch or the tragus. Let's start with something easier to heal, and then we'll work our way up to something like an industrial. And they'll be like, but the industrial is my favorite. I really wanted that one first. And I'll explain, well, industrials are really, really difficult to heal. So if you heal 1 or 2 other cartilage piercings first, you'll have that experience level at healing, and it'll make healing the industrial a lot easier. And it's very interesting to me, the kids who go, but I want the industrial and I want the industrial right now, versus the kids who go, all right, I'm really excited about the industrial, but I have heard they're hard to heal, and I've seen those bumps people get online, and I don't really want that. So I guess I'll do the conch piercing first, and like I'll see how it heals. And those are the clients that I'm stoked. Those are the clients where like when the teen is willing to see that and make that connection, that's when I turn to the mom and I'm like, you got a good kid. You got a good kid. I think, if they heal this and they want the industrial, you could say yes. But it's the kids who have a full-blown meltdown who are like, but I want the industrial. It's the one that I want first. Like, I turn to the parent and I'm like, I don't care if mom says yes. I'm just not going to do it for you now, because you're showing me that you don't have the patience and maturity level for a piercing that's going to take this long to heal and be this difficult. If you can't wait the 6 months for another piercing to heal to get that experience, how are you going to wait the year, sometimes longer than a year, of diligent care to actually heal the industrial? So being mindful and respectful and understanding that, like, if a piercer tells you not right now or not in this order, we don't say it to be mean or to disappoint you or to make you have a bad time. We say it because we're looking out for your well-being and the safety of your ear and your piercings. We want you to have good piercings done by us that are healed and happy and healthy. And we are giving you the advice to get there. It's just not always the advice that you want to hear. But this time of year, I am already seeing requests pouring in from kids wanting to get pierced and come book appointments and find out information, and it makes me so happy to hear. So if you're dealing with parents who have a little bit of a harder time seeing you getting pierced, consider some of these tips. Do your research, bring them the information about the piercing, show them that you're capable of being responsible and responsible for the time period that it would take to heal the piercing. Show them that you've done all that research and considered it, and be respectful if it's a no, or just say not right now, especially when it comes from your piercer, and understand that we're doing these things for your safety. Also, realistic expectations, not every piercing is for folks who are under 18, and hopefully you can respect that and have some patience until you turn 18, and then you can get all of the modification and the work done that you want. I'm excited for back to school season. I'm excited to see all my younger clients in, see how they're doing, add some more piercings, and hopefully not break too many 16-year-olds' hearts this year by telling them no to certain piercings or telling them to wait. Wish me luck with all of that. It was great hanging out and talking. I can't wait to sit down and chat with y'all again soon. Bye.